In the 1950s, the Birmingham Museum of Art became a recipient of a sizable gift from the Kress Foundation. Susan Elliott, the assistant curator of painting, sculptures, and graphic arts, will now give us a tour of this gallery.
This Kress Collection is one of the finest Kress collections in the nation. It came on loan to the Birmingham Museum of Art in the early 1950s and became a gift to the museum in 1961. In the southeast, it is the second largest. It is only slightly smaller than the collection at the Museum of North Carolina in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have a number of masterpieces here, and one of the nicest things about our Kress collection is not only do we have fabulous paintings, we also have sculpture and we have furniture. A fabulous example of furniture is this Casoni, which is actually a wedding chest, and it's absolutely beautiful. These would be gifts from a bridegroom to the bride, and they would be filled with treasures and the bride's dowry and that kind of thing. And this piece of furniture would inhabit the master bedroom. Above the chest, above this wonderful Italian Casoni or chest, we have a fabulous painting of the journey of the Queen of Sheba. It's an extraordinary work. It shows the Queen of Sheba with an incredible hat, and she is carried through the streets. There's a parade of various animals and servants, and it's absolutely gloriously painted. We see camels and elephants and much gold and regalia and pomp and circumstance. In the background is a walled city, and it's just beautifully painting. Another treasure of our collection is this work by, right here behind me, by Sebastian Mainardi, which is a fabulous tondo. A tondo is simply a circular composition. An artist would often work in this circular format to show their prowess at combining all these figures into a circular shape. And this one is especially lovely. There are at least 3 other works by Mainardi that we know of that are related to this particular tondo. One of those 3 happens to be in the Louvre Museum in Paris. This features the Maddona and Christ child with several angels, and then at the base of the painting we see the Maddona lovingly caressing St. John the Baptist. We also have some wonderful works of sculpture in this particular gallery. We have a polychromed wooden sculpture of St. George and the Dragon, and if you look closely at this sculpture, you can see a very tiny lamb and also a very tiny princess. The princess was rescued from the dragon by St. George, and this is fabulously carved out of mostly one piece of wood, and with the smaller figures being additional pieces of wood, and the sword is also an additional piece. We have these 3 galleries which you see here, but we also have works by Magnasco and several other artists in our 19th century gallery, and we also have some beautiful stained glass windows that are a 19th century copy of some 16th century windows from a church in Florence. So our Kress galleries encompass quite a wide expanse of time, and it's a wonderful way for the modern viewer to get a sense of Renaissance Italy. These paintings cover not just the Renaissance, but also the Baroque, and we have some very fine examples of Mannerism as well. An example of this would be the Paris Bordoni in the next gallery, which features 3 figures from Greek mythology. We have a lovely collection of 19th century works of art. We have a beautiful work by Mary Cassat of a portrait of an elderly woman. Features a great deal of red and a lot of impasto and really what we think of as impressionistic brushwork. And one of the most interesting things to me about this portrait, aside from the fact that it's quite a beautiful work of art, is that there is a more finished composition, also a portrait, same sitter but much more detailed, which is in the collection of the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. And it's interesting to make comparisons between those two works. It would be fabulous to borrow the one from the National Gallery at some point. We have a lovely Monet, a beautiful Monet, a water scene. It's very effervescent and it's a lovely painting. Wonderful melange of blues and a little bit of pink and fabulous brushwork. It's extraordinary. And that's probably one of the finest works in our collection.
When we return on